Tips for immigration success. This is Fred Wahl, the Visa Coach. Today's topic is 10 tips to make your fiancé, spouse, or green card, or any immigration application, well, for that matter, successful. Going online to uscis.gov and looking at the forms there, it can be easy to fool yourself that to file an application, all you need to provide is name, address, social security number, and, well, just like placing an order with Amazon, your partner will be dropped off at your doorstep in no time. Sorry, it does not work that way. There are a lot of small details and issues that must be correctly taken care of in order to prepare a complete and, well, most important, persuasive application. And truly, this is a case of art over science in order to do a good job. Today, I will share with you what we do at VisaCoach to go the extra mile to help our clients successfully get through the U.S. immigration process. I am Fred Wahl, the Visa Coach, and I work for you to prepare and craft your applications to submit to U.S. immigration. Now, sometimes callers ask me, do I fill in the forms for them, or do they have to do it themselves? Well, absolutely. It will be me filling in all the needed forms and putting them together for your application. And after we submit your application, I do not abandon you. I remain with you on this journey. I continue by your side personally, helping and guiding you, well, until that happy day that your foreign partner, well, calls to say, hey, she or he is on the way. Now, let's talk about how to make your immigration application stronger and more likely for success. Tip number 1, stay current. Keep up to date and current on U.S. immigration's rules and procedures. If immigration requirements, fees, or forms change, it's critical to be on top of it. Take care that the correct forms are used, the correct fees are paid, and whenever possible, time the submission of your application, if possible, to save yourself from changed and more difficult eligibility requirements. For example, on February 24 this year, U.S. immigration drastically increased the complexity and evidence requirements to apply for adjustment of status. We helped dozens of clients rush to submit their applications before the big change took effect. And even now, many new, tougher standards have been proposed by U.S. immigration for future implementation. Tip number 2, complete all the forms properly. Each form, each part, each question should be carefully reviewed and the instructions understood and factually and properly filled in. Tip number 3, the mandatory evidence. Depending on the application, many documents are mandatory. They are required and must be provided without exception, such as visa photos, birth certificates, tax returns, divorce decrees, marriage certificates, criminal records, etc., etc. Failure to provide all the required evidence will cause an RFE. That's a request for evidence to be issued. And if it's not promptly provided, well, after this second and last chance, it will cause summary denial of your case. Number 4, optional evidence. Not on the government checklist and not officially stated as required as part of the original application, but in my opinion, this is what is most important and most critical for your ultimate success. And this is the heart of the VisaCoach front-loaded application philosophy. It is to include with the application quality evidence that demonstrates that your relationship and your partner is bona fide. Now, U.S. immigration starts reviews of your application for immigration benefits with the assumption that your application is fraudulent. They automatically assume you are guilty until proven innocent. So to be successful, you've got to overcome that assumption and show them that your situation is bona fide. You must prove there's no sham, no fraud. and you must go the extra mile to demonstrate that the two of you are a real, authentic, genuine, bona fide couple. Tip number 5, quality, not quantity. Now, we choose evidence that is relevant, that is material, and we only use a logical, reasonable amount. We do not be excessive. If corresponding for only a few months, it's not helpful to provide copies of each and every dialogue, hoping to impress the consular officer by the number of pages of words. Attempting to pad the evidence to make it appear more than what it really is, hoping to overwhelm the reviewing officer, never ever works. We select just enough to make a valid point, and then we move on to the next type of relevant evidence. Tip number 6, tell your story. With every application of VisaCoach, we always include a well-drafted letter that clearly outlines the course of your relationship, how you met, how your relationship developed, why you chose each other, what are your plans for the future. We present the two of you as two sympathetic human beings, entitled to the reviewing officer's understanding, respect, and fair treatment. This helps to set the stage to convince him or her that you two are two honest people with a bona fide relationship, and you're honestly, genuinely planning to spend your future lives together, that you deserve approval. Tip number 7, explain red flags. Now, if there are red flags in your situation, then as part of the letter, what we just talked about, telling your story, get ahead of the problem by clearly identifying the issue and explaining your side of the story. This way we prevent the reviewer from using his imagination to take your red flag down a dark, dark path. Instead, by openly addressing the issue, explaining it, and clarifying it why it is reasonable or not a problem, we successfully defuse this time bomb before the consular officer gets locked into a negative appraisal. Tip number 8, improve the weak evidence. Sometimes you simply do not have the evidence that is normally expected for your situation. Cameras and cell phones get lost. Users get locked out of online accounts. Culture or other factors may cause your relationship to be less public than usual. Even storms and natural disasters can sweep away what you had. And yes, all of these things have at one time or another happened to my clients. Now, the rising tide for evidence that usually can be generated even after the fact are written statements from witnesses. We fill in the cracks of the evidence that supports your story by asking people who the two of you have met along the course of your courtship to explain what they witnessed. Now, to be effective, do not provide a, well, John and Jane are nice people and I recommend immigration trust them, because that kind of letter is useless. Immigration is not interested in advice from someone they do not know or trust. Instead, what the letter should be about are the simple facts. No opinions asked for. Only a simple statement where the writer introduces he or she is, what the relationship the author has to the couple, and include a description of clear, specific instances of personally, in-person witnessing the couple, when the couple was in person. And I will repeat, because it's really important, when the writer was also in person with them at the same time. Describe the events, meetings, parties, or functions what was going on, who was there, the date, etc., etc. The best candidate to write the affidavit is someone who does not have a personal axe to grind and does not benefit if the couple gets the visa. For example, someone at arm's length, such as a minister, doctor, teacher, colleague, boss, co-worker, well, all those are deemed more reliable than a close family member, because a close family member will say whatever you tell them to say. Number 9, practice the interview questions. Before attending the interview, go over and practice sample interview questions with your partner. Now, we provide these to our clients and also subscribers to the VisaCoach monthly newsletter, so you can get them. At the interview, you must be confident, and that is only possible when you can calmly and clearly answer any question thrown at you, about you, your partner, your relationship, plans for married life in the USA. And both you and your partner should agree with the answers. Because it sometimes happens, that you will both be separately interviewed and asked the same question. And for best chance of approval, both of your independent answers should be the same. And finally, tip number 10, the consulate's requirements. Each consulate has a detailed checklist that is, strictly followed of which documents and material must be brought to the consulate on the day of the interview. The list varies country by country, but normally includes originals of civil documents, police clearances, household or singleness certificates, financial evidence, and so on. Before the interview, study the list of what is needed, and without fail, bring all that is needed. Because arriving shorthanded, even if you have a really pleasant and successful interview, even when the officer says you are approved, just send in the missing items and we will issue your visa. It still will cause lengthy delays. The consular officer and staff at the consulate expects your case to be in order, and originally they plan to issue the visa immediately, same day, job done. And then they want to move on to the next case. But if you forgot a required document and you have now upset the flow of your case, and your case is filed away, you might promptly submit the missing piece the next day, but then wait many months for your visa, because the case has been filed away and will remain untouched, a low priority, waiting for the consular officers to circle back to reopen and finally complete processing of your case. Now, these tips are what, we normally follow here at VisaCoach for each and every one of our cases. And I hope these tips will be useful to you. And hopefully, if you are one of my clients, I hope it'll give you a better idea of what's going on behind the scenes and explain why I'm asking you for so many things. This was Fred Wahl, the VisaCoach. Now, click here to sign up for a monthly newsletter and receive bonus eBooks. Here for YouTube's recommendation. Here for the full playlist of recent videos on immigration news. And here to subscribe to our channel.